Good morning. Thank you for coming today to Ridgedale's Class of 2020 graduation. I would like to begin with our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Chris Blue. You may remember me from being season 12 winner of The Voice on NBC, but I'm just another guy who loves you and want to see you do well in life. I want to take a moment to congratulate you, yes, you, all of the graduates for graduating this year and going on to do bigger and better things with your life. Please know that I'm praying for you and that I truly, truly believe in you, and I believe the hard work and your ethic, your work ethic, has gotten you to this point, and it'll take you much, much further. Now, I'm here to do something special for you guys, and that is the Star-Spangled Banner, which is one of the hardest songs on the planet. So I hope we do it well. Here we go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? Congratulations, guys.
I'd like to take a minute before we get started to thank several people that have joined us today. First of all, Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs, thank you for being here. We have also with us Superintendent Robert Thomas, Renee Kelly, Chief of Staff of Knox County Schools, Jason Myers, the Executive Director of Special Education, Janice Cook, the Director of School Culture, Dr. Karen Loy, who is a special ed supervisor that supports us here at Ridgedale. And then also we have Mr. Danny Trent, who is the Executive Director of Secondary Schools, along with Mr. Tom Watson, who is the Supervisor of Secondary Schools that supports us here at Ridgedale, and Celie Reynolds, who also is a supervisor in that department. Thank you guys very much for supporting us today. I would like to bring to the stage Miss Kayla Mallory. Miss Mallory has been the teacher that's worked with our one graduate that we have today, and I invited her just to come share some thoughts that she has about Miles. So, Miss Mallory, come on up.
Hello. It's nice to see everyone here today. Thank you for coming and celebrating our boy. When I think back and reflect on this year, really odd year, but it's been so rewarding in so many ways. And I think back on all these memories that I share, and many of which include our outstanding graduate, Miles. So before I begin, I kind of want to give you a little backstory. To begin this year, I was extremely nervous. This was my first year actually being able to teach high school age students. And so pretty much all I really knew about Miles was what I had heard from previous teachers or what I had seen around the school building. Little did I know what an impact this young man would be on me for my first year. So I was very nervous to begin this journey, but I was very excited to finally get to work with this young man. Little did I know how many ups and downs we would be experiencing this year. And so first and foremost, I just want to talk a little bit about how much growth that Miles has had. He came to us several years ago with some pretty intense and frequent behaviors. To this year, we only had one behavior all year, and that happened at the beginning of the year when he was a new staff, new classroom, new students. There was so much change for him. So for him to only have one behavior all year was an amazing amount of growth for him. He was able to go out into the community every single day and even go to a job site over at the Rock Gym, where he got to expand on his job skills. And he was able to be successful on every single community outing that he went on. He was able to expand those job skills as well as purchasing skills, where he went from using money to using a debit card, and he excelled in everything that he put his mind to. Some of the other memories that I will cherish are the way Miles's face would light up when it became time for song choice, which was typically a Scooby-Doo song or Why Should I Worry from Oliver and Company, and he would stand up there and sing the whole song. Or the excitement that in his voice on Wednesdays and Friday afternoons when you would ask him, "Miles, where are you going?" And he would say, "We're going to Wendy's." And the excitement in his voice was something that I'll cherish forever. And also his little tricky self, where he would sneak around the classroom to people and he would try to scare you, but you could hear his necklaces blinging around, so it was like you knew he was coming, but it was him sneaking. Or he would go get his water and he would take his cup and drink it, and then he'd get you with the rest of the water that was left. This is the type of laughter and silliness that we experienced every day with him in our classroom. One of our other favorite memories shared was he made a game-winning shot in our staff and student basketball game, and that was one of the highlights of this year as well. Some of the lows was when we started to realize as an amazing staff, me as well as everyone else that worked with him, that our year was winding down, so we needed to soak up all of our love and Miles' smiles that we could, to the lowest of the lows, when our year was drastically cut short. But, however, even though our time was cut short, it doesn't change the impact that he made on all of us. And I feel so grateful that I got to work with him. So, congratulations, big guy. We're so proud of you.
I don't know that I can follow that very well, but I'm going to try. So as I worked on developing a speech for today, I thought long and hard about what does a graduation speech usually entail, and I knew that I had to find the right words to say. There's nothing traditional about today's graduation. First of all, we're in the midst of a pandemic, which has drastically altered how we even get to do everything. We almost didn't get to have graduation as a result of it. We normally have a party at the end of our graduations with a big table full of food and people hanging out, and we invite lots of former staff, and this place is generally packed out with people, and so we couldn't do that. We really aren't supposed to shake hands or give hugs or share any kind of personal touch or time. And then you combine all of that with just how we do school at Ridgedale, you can't expect there to be anything traditional about a speech. So I kind of threw that whole idea of a traditional speech out the window. But in all seriousness, I really thought long and hard about what is it that we're here for, and what do I need to say? And I really just decided I was just going to focus on the reason we're here, and that's Miles. This has been a day that I'm sure has been kind of bittersweet for his family. It's been long awaited, but also at the same time maybe possibly dreaded just a little bit. Miles and his family are leaving the comfort and the security of a familiar experience and familiar staff and people who know his needs and love him, and going into a world that maybe doesn't understand him as the same. For his family, I think you should take tremendous pride in your role in getting him here. I know it's not always been an easy road. And reaching new stages in life can be very exciting and also very scary. Entering that new territory is unsettling at best. So together, Miles and his family have to now adjust to a new environment, a more adult-centered environment and world. So before I could write this speech, I asked the staff, what is it about Miles that you want us to think about? What is it you want to share? Because I thought all of them had a story, had a personal story about Miles. But I was surprised, I guess not surprised, I was pleasantly surprised that their responses were very similar. I kept reading things like words like contagious joy, excitement, a smile that lights up the room. And I know I've seen the hashtag Miles Smiles, so you can get where we're going with that. But those were repeated. Every time I talked to anybody about Miles, those were the things that kept coming out. I loved reading comments about his big heart and about his attention to detail. And if you know Miles, you know exactly what that means. One staff member even commented, he's a remarkable human being with a passion for the simplest of things. And that reminded me of his passion for even holidays. And again, he likes to celebrate holidays way early in advance. And we love the singing and all the things that go with it. But I guess really my favorite comments were what Miss Mallory's already kind of talked about, and that's his progress and his growth. I read his mom's Facebook post this morning. That wasn't part of the speech, but it was right in line with where I was going. And it's been a journey to get him where he's at, and it's a little bittersweet to know that this is the end, but it's also the beginning of something equally as wonderful. So that's kind of what I decided to focus on when I wrote this speech. At Ridgedale, we have a new hashtag this past year that we've been using, and you may have seen it on our social media platforms, but it's hashtag the Ridgedale Way. And I believe that Miles is a perfect picture of that. His big personality reminds us that the Ridgedale Way is just how we have to meet every single student exactly where they are and help them grow every single day until they have to leave us. If we've learned anything about Miles, it's that he's up for new challenges, and all the things that life's going to throw his way, he's going to meet head on. He's ready to move on to new things. He has worked diligently and consistently on some demanding goals, and he has mastered them and showed us that he is ready to move on. Are there going to be days that are tough? Sure, there are going to be days that are new adjustments for both him and his family, but his excitement for life and his ability to learn new things quickly are going to mean that he's ready to grow, and he will challenge those around him to grow as well. Though we might not be ready to see him go, and we will miss him terribly, today we're saying so long. We know that we are better for having had the opportunity to help this young man become his best self. Miles and family, you may not know it, but your journey has made Ridgedale a better place. Let's give Miles a big round of applause. All right, Mr. Miles, you want to stand up? Mr. Thomas, I present to you the class of 2020, Mr. Miles Cooper. Well, that concludes our ceremony. At this time, you are free to be dismissed.